Good morning. What's up, guys? Welcome in. We are live, and we are 8 seconds out from the rollover here at 13. We'll let 13 close on up, and we'll take 14 as it comes. We are, of course, on the December NQ contract. These are NASDAQ futures, and you're looking at a 5-minute chart. Let's get to work, man. Trading RAM here. Let's see. Market clearly in a bit of a range. We might be able to call this a wedge, depending on if the low of 11, low of 13 hold up. But it's a volatile wedge. Okay, the range here total on the day is much larger than we've seen in the last few trading days. ATR currently, that's the average range of a 5-minute bar, 54. Now this time of day, for damn near the last week, man, we've been seeing an ATR of less than half of that. Let that sink in. Less than half this time of day. So, we are thankful for that this morning. Let's let the volatility do its job and see what we can get done here. Pat, good morning. How we doing? Hey, James, good to see you. Outlaw, good morning. Bruce, how we doing? Derek, good to see you, brother. All right, let's get to work. All right, 14. Let's put in something a little more definitive here. I do not want to see this turn into a tiny... Here's what I don't want. Ready? I don't want that, because that would kill the gift of volatility today. I don't think we're going to get that, just because that'd be very, very tight. 40, 50 point trading range when the ATR is 57 is not all that probable. So let's just wait for this thing to break and we'll take the first setup that comes, man. Hey, Trev, good morning. How we doing? John, good to see you, brother. Pete, how we doing? Minute 25 out here from the close of 14. All right. Hey, listen, if you're not yet, you might want to think about sizing down today. You thought I was going to ask you to subscribe to the channel, didn't you? Nope. Size down if you're not yet. You have sized yourself according to the volatility. This is so basic. According to the volatility that we've been seeing the last week, which is an ATR of 20, we are damn near triple that here today. If you trade the same size, I'm not saying you necessarily have to, size down by 3x, though it might make sense, but you should understand also the nuance that it's a little easier to come by edge a little bit when the volatility's up a bit. Okay, so should you size down 1 to 1, like go 3x down if the volatility's 3x up? No, not necessarily, as long as it's within reason. But you probably shouldn't be trading the same size. Yes, sir, Stealth! Yeah, Take Profit Trader, guys, just heads up. Take Profit is the best deal today. 40% off, no activation fee with code BIG. Apex is 50% off right now. So Take Profit Trader is going to be your best deal here today. All right, 15, what do you got for us here? Well, while this is doing its thing, should we check out gold for a second? Any of you guys trade gold? I'm primarily an NQ guy, obviously. But I like gold too, man. There's nothing wrong with gold. Now, I do think you should pick a market and go with it. But RAM can work anywhere that is price action driven. So anywhere with high enough liquidity, it's not like RAM just doesn't work. There's little nuances in gold and NQ. Like, for example, stop hunting on NQ is a monster. Similar on gold, maybe not quite as much. I'm actually very curious. Do you guys jump around? Are you guys, raw, pure NQ purists? Or are you guys hopping around ES, gold, crude? Any natural gas traders in here? I love NQ, man. Don't get me wrong. NQ is the bread and butter, 100%. But, when it's not doing much, I don't think there's anything wrong with hopping over to gold as long as you size yourself right. Or crude. Or, ES, if for whatever reason ES is doing something that NQ isn't. Natural gas is kind of nuts. It can be. What's crazy though is because the volatility in natural gas, a lot of people have gotten really, really, really rich. I don't want to say a lot. People get really rich trading natural gas probably more often than a lot of other, well, I guess, future sectors, energy traders. It's also a little bit riskier, which is why you have people getting rich faster in energy. It's volatile. Can be, at least. All right, 15, what you got? Man, we got a lot of people trading other instruments in here, huh? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, guys, you know, I've never been the guy who's like, only trade NQ, NQ is the answer. No, I've always said that things, like, for example, for all the OG futures traders, all the guys from maybe like 20 years ago, who are still trading, don't get me wrong. Man, ES is their thing. Today, I think NQ is a little more popular, at least on the internet, not as far as trading, okay? Volume-wise, ES is still the OG. But as far as active traders, especially online, man, NQ is kind of like the bread and butter. But I'm not the guy that's going to say never trade anything except for NQ. The nuance here is if you do hop over to gold, which moves a little bit different. You know, gold is it can be a little whippy, but when it moves, man, it moves. It moves, and you can ride that thing. NQ, though, you know I love hunting stops, man. Again, bread and butter is going to be for me. NASDAQ futures. Can always change, of course, but I'm loving it. Yeah, man. Hey, if there's a slowdown in NQ, maybe we'll hop over to gold. Maybe, you know, if ES is doing something, which if NQ is doing nothing, ES probably won't be doing much, but if it is, maybe we'll hop over. I am not against it. But the bread and butter is NQ, because it has treated us very, very well. Ooh, copper. Yes, sir. That's right, Joe. That's right. Again, there's little nuances, which is why, you know, if I don't know, if I've ever said on stream that I do think you should pick one instrument and go with it, you know, again, the nuance of that statement is that I do think you should do that as your primary focus each day. Like, have that one that, like, most of your trading volume is in, that you really learn. And you're like, and you can scale in, right? So, you know, pick ES, NQ, if you want to be primarily a gold guy, natural gas, crude oil. Yeah, fine. But, you know, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea to, like, get the muscle memory down as far as, okay, you know, I've been watching gold versus NQ for a month. And you know, all right, NQ is doing nothing. Gold is trending hard. I'm gonna hop over to gold, but I know I need to size down a little bit because the volatility is not one-to-one dollar-wise based on how the contracts trade right now. So size down a tad, head over to gold, trade some gold. You know, but not like 50-50 necessarily. I think that's a good idea. You know, we're futures traders, right? Who primarily trade NQ, at least most of us here. Doesn't mean there's not other areas to make money, but again, you gotta remember, NQ's treated us very well, hasn't it? So, don't just switch things up for the sake of switching things up. All right, 16, what do you got for us here? Again, really don't want to see this turn into a tight little trading range. ATR still 56, which is beautiful. 25 seconds out here to the close of bar 16 here on NQ. All right. 3.5 minutes out here from the close. A big bar 17 now. What we got to pay attention to here. Is this potential, right? From 11 to 17. I want to see if this guy becomes a thing. Though I got to tell you, again, we are on NQ. So if the low of 3, if we can get a reasonable ram setup heading into the low of bar number 3, the wick low of bar 3, what's down there? Can anybody tell me what's down there in the chat? Stops. Stops. And scared bulls, that's correct. So if we could get a nice ram continuation setup heading into the wick low of 3, you know the plan, man. Even if the full day becomes a trading range, I don't care, because I'm not looking for some big, massive 400-point breakdown side. I'm looking to hunt stops. So let's see what we get. 2 minutes. Now this would be, let's assume for a second that 17 were to close like down at like 25,990. You have a couple options. You can wait for bar 18 and miss the stop hunt if it works. Or I could get short on the close, risk the trading range staying a thing. Even though we closed outside, I take the earlier trade, the slightly lower probability, but the slightly better reward to risk trade than waiting for bar 18. Now I can't do any of that if 17 here closes not reasonably below the wick low of 11. It's got to be reasonable, man. All right, let's see here. Let's see what we get, right? Okay, we are 20 seconds out here. I'm watching bar 17. Gonna go ahead and get the copy trader engaged. And I'm ready. I need to see this baby close reasonably beneath the wick low of 11. The cleaner, the better. I'm gonna give that just 15 seconds. No more than that. Pull that guy down a little. There we go. 5 more seconds, quick resolution, no fill, no trade, because that trading range is too much of a risk right now unless we get quick resolution, which we're not going to get, which I'm cool with. I'd be cool if we got a fill there or if we don't. Because if we don't, it means we didn't get quick resolution. If we do, it means we did. So let 18 close up here and see what we get. Yeah, 26,000 is a tier 1 level. S tier is 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 eventually. Tier 1 holds a little bit less meaning. It's there, you know. It's a reasonable level. It's also been tested many times today already, which dwindles away that meaning. All right, 3.5 minutes out here from the close of 18. Let's clean this up as we go. All right, 2 minutes here till the close of 18. Come on, 18, what you got? All right, Bulls! Trying to take this guy right back up into the trading range. Struggling to do so a little bit after that 17 body. Now remember to zoom out and try to get context here. What I think we're probably seeing is a big wedge on the day. Now it's wide. Okay, we can certainly trade within that wedge. It's wide, man. ATR is 53. We can get some stuff done in here. Just got to be given something. I'm going to take a poll, actually. Let me get it ready to go. All right, poll in the chat. Hit that up. I want to see what everyone's about here. All right, 2.5 minutes out here from the close, bar 19. Minute 45 out here. Let's see if 19 can give us a hard test of the top of this wedge. Again, it's not an exact line. It never is. It's always kind of a range. Also lining up there with the 20 EMA, which has been tested so much today that it is starting to lose relevance. I'm actually going to get ready here. 15 seconds out. Copy trader engaged. Let's see if we can get a nice clean close up top. I want to see it well above 26.050. Ooh, that kind of wicked back. All right, I'm going to hold off. Had this guy popped up and closed more like up here, an extra like 5 points from where it did close, Looking to put out a limit sell and bet against the breakout on a bull body. But wick back a little bit. Hold off. Yeah, let's see how 20 closes up. Look for a pull in, risk this wick high. Basic trade. That's more of a range trade within RAM. A lot of you guys don't know, RAM is not all continuation, dude. Sometimes the context takes over. That's why context is tier number 1, right? And the context here thus far is wedge, which if there are no stops to hunt, is a range. It's always range versus trend. Soft bull channels, soft bear channels fall more under the trend framework, or I guess tier umbrella, right? You could say, oh, this is a soft bear channel. Yeah, but it's really, really soft. It's more of a range to me. Wedges, triangles, sideways trading ranges, all under the range umbrella. All right, 20, let's see what you got. Yeah, you see that? Bear's trying to pull it on back. Never forget the context. Please do your best not to. Not that you're going to forget it. If you're ever going to make a context mistake, in hindsight, it's going to be, I misread the context. That's okay. That is all right. But if you forget to look for it, that's a problem. Because that is tier 1. You're jumping down to tier 2, which is the setup. And a lot of people here, they'll come into the stream, man, and I get this all the time. We're always talking about this in the tomb. People will come in and they'll say, hey, so I'm just looking for, 2 bull bodies, right? No. No. You're looking for a proper setup within the context. You have to determine, okay, are we more under the range umbrella or under the trend umbrella? You can do two opposite things on the same body. If you took 18 and 19 and put it in a bull trend, I'm looking to get long with a stop limit buy above 19, correct? Yeah, 100%. If it's in a bull trend, but we're not. We're in kind of a soft bear channel, if not trading wedge, right? That's what I would call this, which falls under the range umbrella. So you get 18 and 19. If I'm going to do anything, 19's a little bit cleaner. That was just barely outside the realm. That's like C+, just barely outside the realm of what I would take. If this closes 5 points higher, boom, limit sell. See if we can get a pullback down. Christian, good morning. How we doing? Good to see you, brother. All right, Bulls, what you got on here on bar 20? 95 seconds out. All right, Bulls. All right, we'll let 20 roll over here. Small, tiny little bull body. And And as you can see, this is one of those little nuances where 21 rolls over and now gives the bulls that slight little confidence boost because it's rolled over that line that probably half of traders have drawn in their chart right now, because almost everyone's going to see that little wedge at least somewhere around there, right? It's not going to be exact for everybody. But, you know, you can expect the bulls to have at least a few points of confidence, try to take this thing higher. And if the bulls can close up 21 nice and clean above the wick high of 15, I got a stop limit buy present form all wrapped up, ready to go. So let's see if they can do that. All right, halfway through bar 21 here. Again, we'll see if the bulls got it in them. Man, bulls can't decide what to do. Minute 15. All right, there's the rollover of 21. Small bull body. Now, in an ideal world, 22, well, I should say our quickest route to a setup would be 22 popping up, not wicking back too much, closing above the wick high of 15. If the bears decide to take this back into the wedge, 2 bear bodies, consecutive and clean, all of a sudden has us sitting short for a test of at least the low of 18, if not more, like the stops around 3. By the way, when I throw numbers out there, we're talking about the bar number. You can see that on screen. Let's get rid of this wedge. We know it's there, so let's delete it as quickly as we can. And keep a fresh set of eyes. All right, 243 out. All right, Bears, let's reverse this, baby. Now, I gotta say, a concern is that this just becomes a thing. You want to be looking at these while you're sitting here waiting on setups. Don't just be, watching music videos and shit. You gotta pay attention. I mean, I do think you should have a distraction. Something. Yeah, it's kind of inhuman to sit here in silence and stare at charts and then expect to have the patience to wait, an hour with no setup. That's a little weird. And a weird existence, by the way. It's not really why you signed up for this. Have something going on. Something, but that doesn't distract you from the charts. But you should be looking at this and saying, okay, we might end up seeing this sideways trading range become a thing. So if we do get 22 and 23 closing up good, and I short it, and let's say it doesn't work, you don't want to take the same trade 4 or 5 times, lose every one of them before you're like, oh, this is a trading range now. You know what I mean? If you lose 1 or 2 before you see it, that's okay. It's all right. But don't let 1 or 2 turn into 4 or 5. All right, 23. Come on, baby, clean this up. All right, 340 out. Come on, Bears. ATR starting to fall a little bit, sitting at about 45 on the ATR, and I refuse to say fall too much because we this time of day for the last week it was like 17. So 44 is great. Now we just need one side to not be so damn insecure, and we're off to the races. Nico, would you take a trade from bar 1? So for me, I usually like to give it minimum 2 5-minute bars off the open. I feel like with 1 5-minute bar, there's still a lot of institutional orders going through. And what do we know about institutional orders off the open? They execute a lot off the open because the volume is so high and the liquidity is so deep, and they can do a lot of what they want to do without liquidity issues. And a lot of times they're rebalancing for maybe it's 3 hours from now, maybe it's 3 days, maybe it's 12 days, maybe it's a month and a half, 2 weeks, who knows. So when you jumble all that slop together off the open, it kind of just can end up as less of a self-fulfilling prophecy than that we're used to, which gives us that kind of edge in a lot of RAM setups, right? So I prefer, for the sake of that, letting that clear as much as possible. Obviously, algorithmic volume is high all day, but I like to see that clear as much as possible off the open, and I need more context than 1 bar for me. So I like to wait at least for 2 5-minute bars. More often than not, we end up waiting for 3 just because we need the context. But 2 5-minute bars would absolutely be like my bare minimum. Again, but usually it's going to be 3 bars before I'm doing anything. which I've never thought is a big deal. I think a lot of people get antsy off the open. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm pulling it out of the back pocket. Quick break. I'll come back. This thing will be 100 points lower, baby. Couple minutes. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. That's about 100 points, right? Let's see how 25 here closes up. From 21 to now, you know, kind of a short-lived trading range, but less than a half hour. Come on now. So 3 minutes out here from the close of 25. Again, we're on NQ. This is a 5-minute chart. I am copy trading, take profit trader, and Apex accounts, and I am trading NQ and MNQ across the accounts. And this chart, though, is the NQ chart. That's what we go off of with the leader. So, come on, Bears, take this baby lower. Give me a nice low close out of 25. And then I got a big present for the Bears. There, take that lower. 90 seconds. You know, I don't need it to, but I would love to see it close beneath the wick low of 20. Again, I do not need it to. I'm willing to take the early trade. Happy to do so as long as this closes up within reason here. Let's see, minute 10 out. All right. What's up? We ready to slang or what? 30 seconds out. Gotta go ahead, get the copy trader engaged. Take profit trader accounts, Apex accounts locked and loaded. Ready to go here on bar 25. I have a present for you, Bears. All wrapped up, a bow, and a nice red lipstick smooch right on top. With a stop limit sell. Close that up clean, Bears! Boom, place that guy. I want that a tad lower, actually. There we go. And I'll give that about 30 seconds to see if we can get a fill. 25 seconds-ish, actually. Give us quick resolution within the first 25 seconds of the open here at bar 26. Give us a fill, and if it doesn't, then I do not want to participate. Oh, Bears, do it! Do it! No fill, no trade, pull it. You sons of guns. Nothing, moving on. See how 26 closes up. Good morning! Just passed my first ever Apex eval this morning. Trading Ram. Good work. Good work. Seems to be working for a lot of you guys. I'm not surprised. It's logical, right? It makes sense. It's simple decision making. It's really not all that complicated. I really don't think it's that hard to learn. And I think most people who have learned it thus far are looking at this like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense in my head. If it doesn't make sense to you, man, don't trade it. Cool with me, I don't care what you do. I just want you to make money. If you go make a bunch of money trading something else, dude, fucking right. Let's go, that's the point. That is the point. But, man, this is what works for me, so. Share it with you guys. All right, 235 out. I'm all bar 26. What you got? All right, I like 26. Could be a very soft bear channel, if not kind of a trading range, but I think the context is probably more like a wedge, and when I have a potential stop hunt down here at 3, depending, now ATR is 44. Depends how this guy closes up. I might stop hunt it, I might try to break that up into 2 trades. We'll take it as it comes. But let's see how this guy closes up here. This is where the discretionary decision-making steps in. Make the best call you can. If you want to, try to stop hunt it all in one trade, what are you doing? Not like, what are you doing that's a bad thing. I'm saying, what are you going to do here? Effectively, to the math, what does that do to it? Well, it lowers the probability a bit because you're asking for a bigger move out of the market on the one trade, but it increases your reward to risk, right? That's logical. That makes sense. Do you have a decision? Do you want to do it all in one trade, just try to make it a bigger trade, or do you want to break it up into 2? I'll oftentimes try to break it up into 2 if I think I can make sense of doing that. Especially trading prop. Because the drawdown thing, some of the accounts are still going to be in the, obviously, the drawdown. Well, actually, a huge chunk. I'll pass that now, but I mean, you still have that backstop. All right. 18 seconds out. Bar 26. Copy trader engaged. Locked. Loaded. Come on, 26. I've got a present for you. Reasonable close. Not the greatest close in the world. Bit of a wick, so I'll give that 20 seconds, because 24, 25, and 26 are pretty clean. I'll give that guy 20 seconds, see if we can get quick resolution and a fill, and we will, baby. Suck that out. Put that right where I want him. Boom, right there. And let's see. All right, ATR is 40. That stop hunt is about 50 points away. Well, let's take it as it comes. All right, Bears. I gotta tell you, I am, the way that this closed up down in the very low 90s, I'm pretty interested in at least seeing the first test of the low 3. is if I pull it at a single ATR, that's going to be right ahead of the stop hunt, and then I'm not going to be able to break it into 2 trades. I'll miss it if it breaks. So I think I might just lump it all into this trade. Again, you just have a decision to make if you're trading RAM when you end up in a situation like this. And I think for me, I want to see that first test at least and see if it breaks. But bears still have a lot of work to do before that gets tested anyway. So for now, I'm sitting. I'm not interested in a half ATR on this trade, man. Minimum of 1 ATR on this trade. Is what I need to see for the math to make sense here. All right, Bears, let's do our job. Let's make those bulls cry, baby, and take out their stops. I want to see tears. I want to see tears out here on the trading floor. Hopefully not mine. Do your job, Bears. Get it done. Big old Doji. Out of 27. That might give the Bulls some confidence. It's all right. There's no decision for me to make yet here. On to bar 28. We let it try to work. Now, by the way, if we can get that stop hunt going, the reward to risk on this is better than 1-to-1. I really like the trade. Really do like it, regardless of outcome here. Let's see what we get. Come on, Bears. We've got a whole bunch of bulls with their stops down below 3. I want the pink slips to their cars. I want their houses. Do it to them, Bears. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. This might get personal now. Say fuck you. Now I'm gonna protect those stops with my life. All right, Bears. All right, Bears. Get my limit order ready here to place upon the test. See if we can get it popped through and get it going. Oh, you Bears. All right, well, we'll leave that guy there for now. See what they got. Again, I'm not interested in half an ATR. All right, Bears. Time to take everything the Bulls have, baby. Their stops are all right below 3, the wick low of 3. And we see it. I want to see tears, baby. Let's go. Come on, Bears. All right, there's the open of bar 30. All right, Bears. You were getting the job done just barely. You have a lot of work to do, Bears. Bulls, what you got? ATR here still holding up, baby. 39 on the ATR, which is tremendous. Very, very good to see. right. What do we think? What do we think? We're sitting a little in the red, break even, a little in the green. Whose tiers is it going to be? Man, it's the battle at break even. If you're just joining us here, beautiful setup. Stop limit sell went right below the wick low of bar 26 on the open of 27. Risk the signal body, or I guess the full signal bar, the wick high. And I'm looking to stop hunt the wick low of 3, which also happens to be the low of day. Which is where the rights to all of the Bulls' possessions, assets, get transferred over to us Bears. Step on in, Bears! We got work to do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you Bulls. I think they took it personally. All right, Bulls, what you got? You got the wick high of 26 in ya? Oh, you do it to me. Do it to me. They got it. Let's see. ATR holding up, man. Still 40 on the ATR. Tremendous. Tremendous to see. All right, half a reasonable close out of the Bulls. That's a reasonable close. Respect, Bulls. But hey, it ain't over till it's over. We know that. We know that by now, don't we? Blue balls. All right, they got it. Let's see. Oh, is it gonna be my tears? What a reversal, Bulls! Respect. Honestly, that was a hell of a reversal, man. All right, moving on. 340 out here from the close of bar 32. All right. The reason of joking with tears is not good, just saying. This is the big league, Star! This is the big leagues! Go play on the playground, big dog. We're here to play. Man, there's risk. There's risk. You manage that shit like men or like a grown woman. You do it responsibly. If you're risking more than you can afford to lose, whether it's personal account or prop account, that's your fucking problem. That's not anyone else's problem. Minute 40 out. How much money you make from this? Maybe like, last time we measured like 1.5 inches. Maybe 2 on like a really good day. Minute 20 out. Come on, 32, what you got? Now this clearly is kind of a soft bear channel at this point. All right, 65 seconds. Come on, 32. All right, 20 seconds. Now 32, that's not enough for me, because that's still in the, within reason, you can still make an argument for the wedge there, right? So 33 is kind of my golden ticket if the Bulls can keep this up. 5 seconds till the roll over here. Let's see what 33 brings us. Man, Bulls protected those stops down around 3. That was beautiful out of them. Let's see what they got. All right, we're 326 out from the close here of bar 33. Let's see what the Bulls can bring us here. All right, 2 minutes out. 2 minutes out. All right. Let's do it. You guys ready? Well, it's too bad. I'm ready. Let's fucking go. 30 seconds out! Bar 33 looking reasonable. Gotta see a nice clean close out of the Bulls. Gonna go ahead and get the copy trader engaged. And we're 15 seconds out. I've got a stop and buy for the bulls. If they can close this up nice and clean. All right, bulls. What you got for me? Boom, plant him there. Give that about 30 seconds. Risk on this won't be too bad at all. Signal body of 33, moderately sized bull body. Now, of course, the risk is that this whole thing becomes a trading range. But I like the way 33 closed up, considering it wasn't really a trading range. It was more of a descending, very, very soft bear channel. 10 seconds. If we do not get a fill, that is no fill, no trade. I need relatively quick resolution, or I do not want to participate. Bull's a little insecure here thus far. No fill, no trade. Pull it, move on. Bulls hesitating. Big hesitation here on 34. All right, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. 3 minutes of hesitation here out of the Bulls. I don't know, Bulls looking kind of insecure. Can you clean this baby up? Let's see. All right, 30 seconds. Basically a doji bar so far here on 34, man. Yep, Pete. Hey, when there's a setup, I put it on. When there's not, I don't. I put it on, I accept the outcome, and I move on. All right, 35. What you got here? O bar 35. Come on now, what you got? ATR holding up, falling slowly but surely. We're down to 35 here on the ATR. These last two bars thus far are not helping. We have the 20 EMA here. It's been tested a whole lot today, so I don't care too much about the 20 at this point. But let's see how 35 closes. Big old doji on 35, baby. All right, 36. What you got? Boogie! Thanks for the reminder, big dog. Take Profit Trader, 40% off, no activation fee, code BIG. B-I-G. If you trade with no ego and you do things that are logical, you're going to improve very, very quickly. You guys are trading with a lot of ego if you're just blowing up time after time after time after time. You're trading too big in each individual account. Like, people will look at sometimes my total position and be like, wow, that's a lot. That's ridiculous. I scale horizontally. It's really not. I'm not trading that big per account at all. Scale it horizontally. Put your ego aside. Do logical things. Stay patient. Remain disciplined. If you want to trade RAM, I think it'll work well for you if you have the patience and you act like a grown-up. Man, especially some of you men trading, you are so emotional about this. It's fucking embarrassing. Crazy as hell. 36! 2.5 minutes out. Let's see what we get. Still can't believe that reversal on the Bulls, man. That was impressive. Very good work out of the Bulls, protecting those stops below 3. It really was. Fucking right. Minute 50, man. Let's see what we get. Alert! Bar went a tick below my take profit, did not trigger. Hey, it'll happen. It'll happen. Might still trigger, we'll see. You know when people don't think about it that way? When it goes a tick from their stop loss, turns around, turns into a winner. I prefer to think about those occurrences more. Otherwise, you're creating a weird narrative in your head that the market's out to get you, which a lot of people seem to genuinely believe, which is fucking weird. The market does not care about you. The market makers are not interested in your prop sim position. You understand? They're not interested in your, 10 NQ contract position in a personal account. You're small. You're a tiny fish. All of us as retail traders are. I don't care how big you get as a retail trader. They don't care about your position, so think about it both ways. Everyone's like, oh, the market makers, duh, that's why I'm losing. No, you're losing because you have no patience, no discipline, no strategy. You're losing because you suck, which you should, because you've been doing this for 3 months. Talk to me in 3 years after genuinely trying to improve, and I think you'll be making a lot of money. $37, what you got? Come on now. All right, bar 37. Come on now. Let's give us something to work with. Two minutes here till the close of bar 37. All right, 12 seconds here till we get the rollover of bar 37. Still too much of a risk of a trading range here. I gotta see 38. Can't take it on 37. We can get a nice clean bare body close out of 38. Then all of a sudden I got a stop limit sell for the bears. We're checking on gold, see what it's up to. Yeah, 15-point range. All right. The NQ looks nicer. Head back then. Let's head on home here. Home to NQ. All right, 4 minutes, 12 seconds out. Let's see what 38 gives us here. Welcome, unit. Good to have you. All right, 250 out here. Let's see what 38 gives us. All right, we're minute 40 out here from the close of bar 38. And again, clean bear body. I've got to stop limit sell for the bears. Throw it on, see if we get a fill. Where's the signal bar? And boom. Trade number 2. ATR here, 33. $70 seconds out. The Bears can't hold it together here, can they? I'd love to see them be able to. All right, there's a rollover of 38. All right, I'm off to hit lunch. Best deal today, Take Profit Trader. Daily payouts, 40% off, no activation fee with code BIG, baby, B-I-G. Go hit that up, and we'll see here in the near future if Apex brings back a crazy deal. We can expect it's probably coming for holidays. Halloween? I don't, no word. It's still 50% off over at Apex. The second I get word, if we get a big old Halloween sale, a quick one, who knows? None of us know. The second I get word, which I usually get a little heads up compared to everybody else, well, at least, you know, all the customers, I'll let you guys know right away, okay? But we'll see. I'm not sure. Right now, Take Profit Trader is the best deal. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Off to lunch. Have a good day, okay? Get your self-worth not from the outcome of a single trade. That is a very elementary way to do this, and it's going to drive you to loss and emotional decision-making and not a very fun existence as a trader. That's not why you got into this. I was just talking about this in the tomb last night. You need to get your self-worth. Do not derive it from the outcome of any single trade. You need to derive it from a large sample size of trades and from your execution on any given day. Okay? Do that, you're going to be a lot happier and I think a lot more profitable. All right, guys. Have a good afternoon. See you tomorrow. Pharaoh Friday, baby. Let's get it done.